we're going to do a yin class this morning, which is awesome anyway, because yin yang addresses muscles, yin addresses more of connective tissues and joints. So what I wanted to do in terms of starting, you have two options here with the blocks. You can either open up between your shoulder blades, and it's really key that you get the block high enough up so it's not anywhere near your kidneys, won't feel good. So I'll just demonstrate. And in yin, we hold. So this is one option, okay? Is that, so you put it between your shoulder blades high enough up. There's no chance you're going to fall asleep here. It's not entirely comfortable, but it really helps to open up the upper chest and body. Now, that's one option, and for some people, it's just too intense. So, what you do instead of this being vertical, you make this horizontal. And basically kind of in the same place, and then you're using the other block to hold your head. So either the block will be vertical between your shoulder blades, or it will be horizontal along your shoulder blades. And then place the block to support your head in whatever manner that feels right. Now the feet can be straight out in front. You may want to bring the soles of your feet together in Baddha Konasana, probably just having your legs out in front. And the thing with yin is that it works when we hold. It gives the tissues a chance to release whatever discomfort. So I'm going to come around, and because I have a cold, I'll put my little mask on. So yin, of course, gives us a chance to turn inward. Most of us spend our day outwardly focused, whether it's making food, going somewhere, shopping, whatever our chores are. Although, any of them can be done mindfully and can be meditative. It's possible. When you're walking, be aware that you're walking. As you are lying down, be aware that you're lying down. Tissues that have been holding particular patterns or energy for some time, could be years, they take a lot of time to let go. But it's worth it to feel that your energy is unrestricted, that your being is being nurtured, opened, relaxing, and surrendering. Surrender can be very tough. For many of us, we're not taught. We may feel it's a sign of weakness. Or not fighting the good fight. So if you're able, To stay in this another 30 seconds. And now slowly and carefully remove your blocks and set them off to the side and release your upper body flat onto your mats. And just stay here a moment in Shavasana. Yin Yoga is restorative. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the one that heals, restores, and balances our bodies and our minds. One that allows the body intelligence to do what it knows how to do. And now draw your knees up towards your chest. Place one hand on each knee and do some gentle rocking from side to side. You may also make little circles, but do this with awareness. Do this mindfully, checking in with what's going on in that lower back area. And then place your left foot on the floor with the left knee bent. Place your right ankle on top of your left knee. Right ankle on top of left knee. And then slowly lower everything over to the left. So this is our first IT band stretch. Now, the IT band starts from the outside of the hip and goes to the outside of the knee. A lot of athletes have tight IT bands. If you walk a lot, if you play any racket sports, and you can think of the IT band, which is fascia, it's like shrink wrap. So it takes a while to loosen up that shrink wrap so that we have more mobility throughout the hip and the knee. I'll remember, if anything I ask you to do doesn't feel right, please modify it or don't do it. And inhale, come back to center, and then draw that right knee into the chest and extend your left leg down in front. With your right hand inside of your right knee, press that right knee open to the right side. So you're opening up the hip, stretching the inner thigh. Try to keep the opposite hip flat on the floor. Inhale, bring that knee back to center and place your left hand on the outside of that right knee and bring it across the body. So once again, big stretch here for the IT band, which inserts into the gluteus maximus, big butt muscle. I think I'll just up the heat just a little bit because we're not going to produce as much body heat today. I want to make sure we stay warm. But do let me know if you feel too hot. So breathing into that large glute, your butt muscles, breathe into it. And wherever you're at in this posture and every other posture is exactly where you need to be. You're not doing too much, but you're feeling a little bit of a pull. "15 more seconds here. Good deep inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, bring that leg back to center and bend the left leg so that both knees are bent with your soles of the feet on the floor. And then place your left ankle on top of your right knee. You can take your arms out to the side and take both over to the right. Try to keep that top knee pointing up. So you can feel this is a completely different stretch from the one that we'll be doing next. It's a little gentler, lighter. Inhale, come back to center, and bring the left knee into the chest and extend the right leg down in front, placing your right hand on the outside of your left knee, and draw that left knee across the body over to the right, extending your left arm out to the left side. So this is a more intense stretch. This is stretching that large glute muscle. There are 3 gluteus muscles, maximus, medius, and minimus. This one is going for the big guy. The brilliance of yoga is that we operate and move through planes that our normal life does not take us through, which is why some of us will feel more or less tension, tightness. And 15 more seconds here. And just notice if you can release a little bit or if there's just resistance. If we haven't stretched this area in a long time, don't expect it to release quickly, but know that the attention that you're offering it is important and starts that journey of releasing, surrendering, and letting go. I've been reading one of Thich Nhat Hanh's books, the Vietnamese Buddhist monk who passed away at the age of 93. just less than a year ago. He often speaks about surrender, letting go. It's not normal for us, but it sure lets us release a lot of unnecessary tension and stress and come back to the center. And now you're going to cross that left leg right over the right. Left leg right over the right, real tight. So this is Supta Gomukhasana, cowhead pose. So you've got your left knee tight over your right, and you're going to reach down towards your ankles. You may only have your calves. And do a little bit of pulling. We'll be doing this on the other side as well. So perhaps as you're holding this, you may be able to slide your hands towards your ankles. Try to keep your shoulder blades on the mat with your shoulders away from your ears. The stretch is far more intense on the top left leg. Supta Gomukhasana, cowhead pose, lying on our backs. And 15 more seconds here. Be sure you're inhaling long, full, and deep, and exhaling even longer, fuller, and deeper. And then release your ankles and place the soles of your feet on the floor. Bring your feet together and allow your knees to splay out in Supta Baddha Konasana, so lying down butterfly pose. Lift your shoulder blades up underneath your heart. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest to lengthen the back of your neck. And if it feels comfortable, have your palms facing up in the open and receiving position. And if not, just let them hang out wherever they're comfy. Inhale, bring your knees back together. And now we're going to take the right knee over top of the left. Draw the knees towards you. And then again, you're going to take your calves or ankles or the end of your yoga pant, which I'm seeing. Can you bring your knees closer up to your chest, Martha? Yeah. Yeah, bringing your knees up towards your chest. Are you confused? And then, so it's this. Gomukhasana. So it's this, only we're doing it in the lying down position. So, one knee on top of the other. If we were centipedes, we'd be messed up. Okay, so let this leg go over to the other side. Yeah, now. And then take, yeah. Okay. There you go. Now you've got it. So if you're able, hi Jen, you're taking hold of these. So it's a little bit different than, I know what you're doing, the pigeon pose lying down, but this is actually different. So most of you've got this going on now, you've got it. So this is a little different. Drawing your knees towards your chest. Cowhead pose in the lying down position. You guys are releasing lots of tension in the lower body. Just me getting up and walking around, I can feel how much is let go. So you'll be noticing that afterwards. It's another 15 seconds. Okay, and let's release that. And once again, bring the soles of the feet to the floor and bring the soles of the feet together. And once again, you're letting your knees splay out. So you're stretching your inner thigh, you're relaxing your glutes, you're relaxing your IT band. So soles of your feet are together, your knees are splaying out in Supta, which means lying down on your back, supine, Baddha Konasana. And how is the temperature? It's good? Okay, awesome. Okay, draw your knees up in towards your chest. Place your hands underneath the backs of your thighs, and either you can roll over onto your side or you can roll up onto your back. Now, if you're comfortable sitting sitting on a block, cross-legged, or you can also sit on your block with your knees, whatever feels comfortable, but try and be seated as tall as possible. And we're just going to do a little bit of neck and shoulder. So inhale, close your eyes, lift up through the crown, keeping your spine long. Exhale, tilt your chin and lower your head towards the center of your chest. And then begin to make circles with your nose, whatever direction, because you know what, it can be, if I said clockwise, we'd be, what's that? Just go in any direction, slowly. And you're drawing a big circle with your nose. And you're bringing your chin down to the center of your chest. And you're slowly going the other way. Now you're going to feel this in your traps, probably, your trapezius muscles. These are large muscles that get really tight on a lot of people, especially those whose shoulders are up around their ears most of the time or rounded. So if you're feeling a lot of tension in that area, this is a good exercise for you. And let's go one more time, slowly, making circles with your nose, stretching your trapezius muscles, starting in the back of your neck. They line along your skull and they go along your shoulders and attach to your spine as well as your shoulders, back of your shoulders. All right, change the direction, slowly making big circles. So inhaling up to midnight, exhaling down to 6 o'clock. Slowly going up to midnight, exhaling back down to 6 o'clock. And last time, up and slowly coming down. And then lift your shoulders up to your ears, exhale, roll them back, and pull your armpits down. Once again, inhale, shoulders up, exhale, push them back, pull them down. Once again, inhaling up to your ears, exhale, roll them down. Now let's come in the opposite direction, up to the ears, forward and down, back, up, down in the forward movement, and then last time, back, up, and all the way down. Yay. Okay, place your block off to the side. And come on over onto all fours. Placing your hands underneath your shoulders, your knees, underneath your hips. Remember, you can double your mat over if you feel that you need more cushioning under your knees. On an exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, pull your bellies in, and drop your tail down. On an inhale, curl your toes under, hollow out your lower back, lift your tail, lengthen through your neck, eyes up towards third eye, Ajna Chakra. Exhale, round your spine, pull your bellies in. Inhale. It's optional to curl your toes under if it feels good. It's a nice stretch for the fascia on the bottom of the feet. They don't get stretched that often. And flatten the tops of the feet as you come back into cat, rounding and stretching the back of the body, tucking the chin, dropping the tail. And again, inhale, curl the toes under if you wish. Hollowing out the lower back, lifting head, eyes can be opened or closed, looking up at your third eye. And let's come back to neutral. Now step your right leg forward and let's come forward. Let's come forward and really stretch forward. So a low lunge. And then you're going to place your right elbow on that front knee and you're going to inhale and reach the other arm up. Reach up, stretch up. Maybe even look up. Exhale, float it down. One more time. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, float it down. And now let's come backwards and just stretch the hamstring in the front leg. Hands can be on the floor. So you're sending your hips back as much as you can. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. And let's come back onto both knees. And now we're going to take the right arm up, sweep it up, reach up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle. And reach through and bring your shoulder and the side of your face onto the mat and tippy toe the fingers of your left arm straight out in front. And again, letting go, surrendering, releasing, healing and balancing all of your being. This is a very nourishing practice. Of course, we need to develop muscles, strength. That's important too, and yoga can do that. So this nourishes all of the tissues, bringing harmony and balance to body, mind, spirit. And then draw that arm in front, back. And then let's step the left leg forward and place the left, come forward with your knee so it's a low lunge. And then inhale, sweep the right arm up, reach up, stretch up. So you're going to feel that in your inner thigh. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, float it down. And once again, let's take the hips back and stretch the underbelly of that left thigh, your hamstrings or your hammies. For most of us, they're pretty tight, but they eventually release. I used to abhor forward folds because they weren't flattering to me. They were difficult. I had an easier time with back bends, but over time, I like them equally. And come forward and then draw that left leg back so you're back in tabletop. And then lift your left arm up, reach up, stretch up, and thread it under the right arm, reaching through as far as you can, lowering your shoulder and the side of your face onto your mat, bums up in the air, tippy toe your fingers, so you're reaching out in front, stretching your left back shoulder, upper back, lengthening your spine. Couple more breaths in, and of course out. And then bring your front arm back, and let's come into modified child's pose. So your knees are as wide as the mat. Now, if bending your knees more than 90 degrees is an issue, keep your knees up and come into puppy pose and lower your forehead, or bring the knees as wide as the mat, big toes touch. Either position, you can add some height to lower your forehead onto, or if it reaches comfortably to the floor, then go for it. I got to tell you, I felt absolutely miserable this morning when I woke up. Well, it wasn't really waking up. I didn't have a great sleep, but I'm loving how much better I'm feeling. I hope you guys are feeling good too. Cold or no cold. And inhale, come up. Bring your knees underneath your hips. Spread your fingers apart so your middle finger's pointing forward. So make sure your middle finger's pointing forward. Spread your fingers apart. Let's try and get your entire palm and fingers on the floor, and then press your fingers onto the floor. Lift your hips up, and let's just gently walk the dog. So one leg straight. And one leg bent. Now, if having your head lower than your heart is an issue, you can bring your knees to the floor and just extend your leg out behind you. Otherwise, you're straightening one leg or lifting one leg, changing, and change. And now walk your hands back towards your feet. We're still going to stay in Uttanasana, but what I want you to do now is take your, I'll do the opposite, take your left leg in front of your right, so you're crossing over. Left leg in front of right, and you're going to bend the left knee. So you're taking your left foot, and you're going to keep your knees soft and keep your fingertips on the floor. Now, if you need extra height, you can always use your blocks. I guess it would have been good if I'd told you that before. If you need extra height with your fingertips on the floor, but bend that front knee, and then let's inhale and reach the right arm up. So your left leg's in front, your right arm is up. This really gets into the IT band of the back leg, where it attaches to your gluteus medius muscle. So often knee pain, knee popping, can be a factor of a tight IT band, or just lack of mobility in the knee joint, period. Okay, let's uncross. And remember, if you need extra height, put a pillow or put something in front of you. War and Peace if you have it. And I'm talking to the people at home. Okay, so now you're crossing your right leg over your left, right leg over left. And I'm doing the mirror image for you. And now you're going to lift your left arm up, and you're going to feel that stretch into your IT band, where it inserts into your gluteus maximus. Yay. and release that hand down. Uncross your legs, and then let your head hang, and let's slowly roll up, one vertebra at a time. Keeping your chin tucked into your chest, let your head be the last thing to come up. And then inhale the shoulders up to the ears. Take your feet wide apart, interlock your fingers, squeeze your shoulder blades together. This is still, sometimes when I'm out for a walk, if I feel like my shoulders are coming forward, I'll just do that. What was it, Charlie Chaplin? But of course, he was bent forward. But I will take my arms behind my back. Okay, so take your feet as wide as your mat. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together, looking up at the sky. And then with your knees bent, reach your arms, whatever amount you can, up and over behind your back. Let your head hang, release your arms, and walk your feet back towards one another. And we're going to come into Utkatasana, horseman's pose. So, knees are bent a lot. Imagine you're going to sit in a chair, but it's an imaginary chair. You're going to have most of your weight is going to be in your heels, and you sweep the arms out in front. Keep your knees bent. Keep your knees bent. Palms can face one another, but if it feels better facing down, you want to be able to see your toes in front of your knees. You don't want your knees so far forward, so your weight is in your heels. And then inhale, sweep the arms up. It's snowing. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, bend your knees, and inhale, sweep the arms up and overhead, bringing your hands into prayer. Exhale, bring your arms down and release. So half sun salutations. Inhale, sweep the arms up, turn the palms out. Exhale, swan dive onto your thighs. Fingertips touch the floor. On an inhale, you're going to try to lift your sits bones up as you let your head hang. Or again, as I said, if having your heart lower than your head, just place your hands on the fronts of your shins. And then bend your knees and inhale, sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up and overhead. Hands in prayer, exhale, all the way down. So let's do our full sun salutations, but we're going to do them a little bit slower, as we would in yin. If you need some water, please take a wee sip. And coming up to the fronts of your mats, if your socks aren't sticky, be a good time to take them off, just so you can grip your mat. Inhale, in place, exhale, hands in prayer. Step your feet apart, arms up, reach up, look up, arc back whatever amount feels good for you. And then inhale, bring your legs back together, lift up out of your waist, reach forward, hinging from your hips, reaching your fingertips to the floor. If you need to, you're bending your knees. Now step your left leg back and drop the knee to the mat and bring your hands onto your front thigh. Keep your shoulders right over your hips. And then inhale and lift that back knee off the floor and press through the heel. That is the anchor of your posture. Your back leg is the anchor. Inhale and sweep the arms up. Shoulders stay down, rib cage stays in, fingers are active. Turn your hands forward, spread your fingers apart, bring them to the mat, take the other leg back. We're in a push-up plank position. Now, if this is too much on your wrists or shoulders, then you're going to bring your knees to the floor and cross at the ankle. If not, holding plank develops upper body strength and the ability to handle hardship, or tatiksha as it's called in Sanskrit. Try not to sag through the lower back. This strengthens the lower back. It strengthens the core along with your upper body. And then release your knees, flatten the tops of your feet, leave your hands where they are, And slowly take your hips back towards your heels, stretching through the shoulders, the spine, and then lower your forearms if you're able to the mat. Stay nice and low, and see if you can land your sternum and your chin on the mat while your bum is up in the air. It's awkward, but it supports the integrity of your spine. Slide everything. And when I say supports the integrity of your spine, I've never had a slip disc. I don't want one, but I've heard that these back bends can actually help a slipped disc get back into place. My idea is that we're being proactive to avoid that in the first place. So line up the edges of your fingers with the edges of your shoulders. Place your forehead on the mat. Bring your elbows into your side body and press your forearms towards the floor. Notice how this is moving your shoulders away from your ears and engaging your core. So then roll in the invisible alley with your nose and lift your upper body without using your hands. So this posture strengthens your back muscles safely and as well as just about any yoga posture can. So if you have weak lower back muscles, baby cobra, as opposed to the fuller expression of cobra, baby cobra is your go-to. So you can feel it's strengthening all these muscles, the latissimus dorsi, and these muscles are important for posture, sitting up straight, walking tall, standing tall. One more breath in. Exhale, lengthen as you lower. Curl your toes under. Come on up onto your knees. Push yourself up into Adho Mukha Svanasana and walk your feet a couple of inches forward. Make sure you're pressing all 10 fingers into the mat, and then press your belly onto your thighs. This has a lengthening effect on your spine. Press your chest towards your knees. Align your ears with your inner arms. And now try to press the heels towards the floor. You're not going to be locking your knees. They're probably still going to be slightly bent, but you're going to feel a wonderful stretch in the backs of your legs. So breathe. This is a highly energizing posture. It's also considered an inversion. Lift that left leg up in the air. Look at your left hand. Swing that foot as far forward as you can. If it doesn't go very far, drop the opposite knee, pick the foot up at the ankle, and place it back at the front of your mat. And then bring the other leg forward and let your torso hang, arms beside your ears. Galvanize your thighs, your quadriceps by lifting up on your kneecaps. Pull your bellies in, and then sweep the arms in front, reaching up, feet apart for balance. Look up, reach up, arc back. Inhale, bring your feet back together, lift out of your waist. Exhale, forward fold, and then bend your knees and inhale. Sweep the arms out to the side, reaching up, bringing your palms together. Exhale, hands all the way down in front. Okay, still being at the front of your mat, let's step now this is where you may want your blocks at the front of your mat for height. So place them at the front just in case. And you're going to step, your left foot is pointing 90 degrees forward, and your right leg is back about one leg length. And the alignment is really important. The heel of the front foot creates a straight line through the arch of your back foot. So you're on the, yep, you got it. So bend that front knee. Now, if you really want to stretch out your thigh and work your front thigh muscles, then scooch that foot a little bit forward. However, if you have knee issues, bring that knee back, okay? Don't take it too far forward. That's just too much stress for your knee at this time. But that knee wants to collapse in. Make sure the knee is pressing over your outside toes. So keep pressing it out so you actually feel like you're pressing into the outside of the front foot. Press into the outside of your back foot. That activates your inner thigh. Lift up at the sternum. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, so arms are front, frontwards and backwards. Yep. And then you're basically centering your hips, shoulders over your hips, and your wrists are over your ankles, basically. Opening up the chest. The hips are facing sideways on your mat. Now lower your back arm down your back leg into exalted warriors. So you're lifting that front arm straight up. Reach up, stretch up. Exhale, bring it back to the center. And now straighten your front leg, reach over that front foot as far as you can, and then reach down and come into triangle pose, Trikonasana. So your front leg is straight, your back leg is straight. Nice, everybody. Beautiful. You're trying to keep, and you are keeping your top shoulder directly over your bottom shoulder. Now, look down in front of your front toe at your block and lower your back arm onto your hip. Bend your front leg, your front left leg, and then scooch your back leg forward. Now you can use the block at any height. You're going to transfer your weight onto that standing leg, and you're going to lift your back leg up. And that may be all you're going to do at this point. But if you're able, you're going to lift your top arm up. You're coming into half moon, crescent moon, Ardha Chandrasana. And maybe even balance and lift your front hands off. But that's pretty advanced. Step back, come into triangle pose. Lifting your top arm up. Inhale, come on, all the way up. Exhale, lower your arms and bring your feet together. Let's do the other side. So now you're going to step your left leg back, the one you didn't do before, and then bend your front knee. Don't let your torso go forward. Keep your torso straight up and down, lifting up at the sternum, and make sure that knee doesn't collapse in. Protect your knee by pressing it towards the outside of your mat. Press into the outside of your back foot. Inhale, sweep the arms up to shoulder height. And then exhale, lower your shoulders. And if you feel like it, scooch that front foot forward, lowering your thigh so it eventually becomes parallel with the floor. And you want your knee, look down, make sure your knee is over your ankle, that you're not taking your knee further than your ankle. So your calf lines up with the back of your heel, and then lower your back arm, down your back leg, reaching up, stretching up, and looking up. Feel the stretch. Coming back into Virabhadrasana 2, now straighten that front leg. Reach forward, not down, reach forward. When you can't reach any further, keep your front leg straight, lower your front arm inside of your front leg, reach the other arm straight up, so that if you were up against a wall, both shoulders would be touching the wall. Nice. And then lower your back arm onto your leg, bend your front knee, scooch your back foot forward. Once again, you can use the block to give you extra height and lift your back leg off the floor. So you're essentially balancing on one leg, but you can feel you're strengthening your top hip. And then lift your top arm up if that feels comfortable. And then maybe even lift your fingers off the floor so that you're just balancing. But that's if you're feeling balanced. And then step your back leg back, come back into triangle. Inhale, sweep up, turn sideways on your mat. Take your arms shoulder height. Spread your feet far enough apart so you're going to be able to lunge to the side, and both feet are pointing slightly outwards, equally. Both feet are pointing slightly out. And then hinge from the tops of your legs, your hips, and tent your fingers on the floor in front of your face. Inhale, sweep the left arm up, reaching up, stretching up, and looking up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, sweep the other arm up. Feel the stretch in the inner thigh, adductor muscle. Exhale, float it down. One more time. Reach your other arm up. And come up onto the fingertips so you really get a nice stretch in that inner thigh. Exhale, float it down. And last time, reaching the opposite arm up. Twisting the spine. Coming back into the center. And now let's lunge over to the right side, bringing bum as close to heel as possible. So your feet need to be fairly wide apart to pull this off. Up and over to the other side. And into the center. Walk your feet in. And let's come down onto the mats for 2 more postures. So keep your knees bent. Line up the heels with your sits bones. Bring your arms beside your body with your palms facing down. Lift your shoulder blades up and tuck them under your heart. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest. Press the small of your back into the floor. Peel your spine off the floor, coming up into bridge pose. Sattu Bandhasana. So this is strengthening and stretching in a more gentle way your IT band. We're winding down now. Lifting up and starting from the top of your spine, come all the way down. One more time. Press the small of your back into the floor. Palms are facing down. If you're able to, interlock your fingers underneath your body so your knuckles are pointing towards your heels. Arms should be flat on the floor. And you may need to walk your heels a little closer and then lower your torso onto your arms. Only if your arms are flat on the floor. Beautiful opening. Counteracts the hunching, forward flexion that we have to spend most of our day in. Most of us don't do things behind our backs. We do them in front. And then one more inhale, up, release your arms, and slowly bring the torso all the way down. And then let's just try one little happy baby, because we're happy babies. So you may need to keep your feet out in front, but you're taking hold of your insteps. Now, arms can be inside with your feet taking the insteps from inside, but if it feels better with your arms inside to take your hands and wrap them around the outside of the feet, fine. Are you able to bring your ankles directly over your knees? If you can, happy baby. Nice, safe stretch for tight hamstrings. Nice release for the lower back. And it helps us wind down. And then release your hands. If you need to put any clothing on, socks, a top, prepare yourself for Shavasana, extending the legs out in front, bringing the heels close together, letting the feet splay out, lifting your shoulder blades and tucking them under your heart center. Tilt your chin towards the center of your chest. Palms are facing up in the open and receiving position. And allow your body now to become soft and heavy. Again, for people who are fidgety and don't think they want to do Shavasana, you need to think again. all of the effort that you've put in is now being absorbed and integrated into your bodies. So don't miss that opportunity. It's almost like you just spent a lot of time preparing a nice meal and then you're going to put it in the freezer. Well, that might be the case with a lasagna or something, but so while you're letting go, I found a wonderful little writing when I was out west. Dear human, you've got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That is where you came from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love, infused with divinity, lived through the grace of stumbling, demonstrated through the beauty of messing up, and often. You didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed, and fabulous, and then to rise again into remembering. But unconditional love, stop telling that story. Love, in truth, doesn't need any other adjectives. It doesn't require modifiers, doesn't require the condition of perfection. It only asks that you show up and do your best, that you stay present and feel fully, that you shine and fly and laugh and cry and hurt and heal and fall and get back up and play and work and live and die as you. It's enough. It's plenty. Inhaling the life force, long, full, and deep. And deep. Exhaling. Long, full, deep. Inhaling. And deep. Exhaling. Inhale, stretch your arms over behind your heads. Reach and stretch, point feet far, flex and point. And drop your arms down by your side. Inhale, stretch your arms skybound, reach and stretch, point feet far, flex and point, and drop your arms down by your sides. Take your time. When you're ready, rolling over onto your right side, perhaps using your right arm as a pillow, staying a moment in a fetal position. Maybe just observing what's going on for you. How are you feeling compared to how you felt when you started this class today? Become aware without any judgment, just love. Thank you so much for coming out to share your practice. Namaste.